Welcome to another episode of the Adrienne Ross Show, where sports and culture connect. Here I am, sitting right here in the living room still, where I was live streaming the Indiana Fever game versus the Washington Mystics. And yes, indeed, Indiana, congratulations, clinched a playoff spot. That is absolutely huge for this team to have gone through the adversity this team is still going through and to make it to the playoffs. You got to know how huge this is. And this accomplishment today is every part of the team's accomplishment. Every person associated with this organization, it's your accomplishment. Every player, whether you play 30 minutes, whether you play 0 minutes, whether you are injured, this is your victory today. Yes, even if you are out for the rest of the season because you're injured. So yes, that means Caitlin Clark. That means Sydney Colson. That means Sophie Cunningham. That means Ari McDonald. That means Chloe Bibby. That means every person, those who have come in late and contributed to this team, whether in practice, whether in a game. We have watched every one of them cheer one another on. Their family, they love one another. I know the noise out there is something completely different. I've seen comments from people who are not happy that the team has clinched. They don't have to be happy. The team has clinched. And as a fan of the Fever, and yes, even as a fan of Caitlin Clark, though she's out for the season, I cheer for the team because in so doing, I'm cheering for this team, and that includes Caitlin Clark. So I'm excited and I'm blown away. I have said how many times that this is not just a great American story, and it is. This is a God story. This is a lesson for every one of us. I said several games ago that even if they didn't win another game, they have still taught us what it is to persevere, to believe, to do it in unity, to never give up, even when voices are saying, oh, let it go. It's a wrap. Give it up. Absolutely no quit in this team. And that is a lesson for every single one of us in every area of our lives. Remember, sports are a microcosm of society, and your reaction to all that has gone on this season speaks a whole lot about the culture you exude, what your values are. But I am so appreciative of the people who have continued to show up for this team and cheer this team on. And now they're in the playoffs. And what I love about this win is the Fever took care of the Fever's business. You don't want to be in a position where it's like, okay, we've got 2 more games and we don't take care of business. So we got to hope the Sparks lose, or we got to hope the Storm lose, or we got to, oh my goodness, hopefully we can beat the Minnesota Lynx. No, you have this day in front of you. You want your destiny in your hand. And the Fever had 1 game to get, and the Fever got the job done. So, hey, so now it's 1 game after another game after another game, and you just go. You still in the regular season. You still have to play Minnesota, and then you're in the playoffs, and you just take it game by game by game. There's just like I always say, if you're down 20, there's no 20-point shot, right? There's no 20-point shot. There's no however many games you need to win the finals, right? To get through the first round, the second round, the finals. You just got to take it game by game by game by game, possession by possession by possession, decision by decision by decision. You control the things you can control. The things you can't control, you can't control. But you do what's in your hands to do. You'd be surprised. As I used to tell my players, you take care of the little things, and the big things will take care of themselves. Because one of the things we find out in this game is that little things aren't really that little. So I am excited for the team. And I did, if you saw my video, my 2.5-minute video yesterday called No Howard No, you know what I'm talking about. But we didn't have to have this one up that much today. We had a lot more of this. So Had a great time. And I got a chance to run. For those of you in the live stream, for those of you who've never joined us in the live stream, you're missing out on a great experience. But I had a lot of opportunity to get up and run around that couch today. Earlier in the game, I was like, I'm not, you're going to give me some opportunities to get up and run? Give me the run. But sure enough, that came as this team won by 29 points. And at one point, threes were dropping. Just exciting for us as Indiana Fever fans, of course, for the team. And so in the beginning of the game, I was getting that itchy feeling, like I never really felt like that we couldn't win the game. But I am aware that a team that has been eliminated from the playoffs, they can't get to the playoffs. But what they can do, and they delight in doing, is playing spoiler, which means I am not in the playoffs. I'll make sure you don't get in the playoffs. And so sometimes that can be a very dangerous place to be. Never really felt like we weren't going to win, but I kind of felt like that when your feet are in quicksand kind of feeling, and then they had the clock issues again and all that, but things turned around, and kudos to this team. So we're going to go over to ESPN.com for the box score and take a look at some of these numbers. So as you see here, Indiana 94, Washington 65. Indiana actually lost the first quarter by 1 point. Washington 20, Indiana 19. Second quarter, Indiana won 26-18. Third quarter, 17-9, Indiana. Fourth quarter, 32, Indiana, 18, Washington. Yes, I said 32 in the fourth quarter, Indiana. And obviously, again, final 94-65. So our leading score, I'm going to bounce around this box score based on leading scores. Like I said, okay, Howard, okay. Yeah, Howard led the way with 17 points on 6 of 10 field goals. She had 4 rebounds in this game as well, an assist and 2 steals. And then at 17, so let's go down to the next, which was 15. Down at the bottom here, 15 from Aerial Powers, 5 of 10 from the field. She had 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a block in the game. All right, 13 points from Shea Petty. Listen, Shea Petty, 5 of 5 from the field, 3 of 3 from 3, also had 2 rebounds and a steal. Then after 13, we go up here to Aaliyah Boston, a double-double, 12 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 of those rebounds were offensive rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal. Then we got 10. Is it 10 next? Yeah, no. Yes, 10. We got 10 points from Kelsey Mitchell. She took 10 shots. She made 4 of those shots. It wasn't a high-scoring game for her like we're used to, but she hit some timely shots. She also had 1 assist and 2 steals to go with her 10 points. And now we go to 9 points from Damaris Dantas. Her 3 showed up in this game. She was 3 of 5 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3. She had 2 rebounds as well. And then after her 9, we get 7 from Lexi Hall, who was 3 of 7 from the field, 2 assists, 1 steal. She was in foul trouble for part of this game, so she sat a little bit, then came back and just was Lexified. You know how that is. Then we get 6 points from Odyssey Sims on 3 of 6 shooting. She had 8 assists, 2 rebounds, and a steal. And then we are at 3 points from Michaela Timpson. And we are at 2 points from Brianna Turner, who also had a rebound. Well, Bree Hall got a chance to get in for 5 minutes. She did take a shot, but she was short on that shot. And so she did not score, but she did get a rebound. And then let's go over down to Washington Mystics. Their leading scorers. They had 17 points from Sonia Citron, who is something else, man. As a rookie, goodness. 6 for 9 from Citron and 2 of 2 from 3. She also had a rebound and a steal, but she also turned the ball over 6 times in the game. And then you got 11 points from both Shakira Austin and Kiki Iriafin. And I think that's all they had in double digits. Now, check this out. Rebounding, because it's so important. Rebounding in this game, Indiana, 29 rebounds. Washington had 29 rebounds. Go back up. What about crashing the offensive board? Indiana had 8 offensive rebounds in the game, and the Mystics 8 offensive rebounds in the game. But look at the turnovers here. 21 turnovers from Washington. Did Indiana take care of the basketball? Yes, certainly in comparison. 7 turnovers to 21 turnovers for Indiana. What about assists? Look at this. Indiana, who shot 52.2% from the field. The assists, 21 assists in the game. 21 assists. They made 36 field goals, and 21 of them came off of assists. And then down here, assists for Washington, they had 13 again to our 21. Our, of course, means I'm putting myself as an Indiana Fever. You know how that goes. In any case, big game for Indiana. Needed this one win to clinch the spot, and they took care of business. Let's go on over to the Indiana Fever's X account and just browse around a little bit and see how they have handled this win. I'll start down and work my way up. So I'll start with their earlier post. This is after they won. Fever win. Here's Aerial Powers, 29-point dub to clinch our spot in the playoffs. Hashtag Fever win. And then we've got this sheer joy there. Now you know, Lexi and Aerial Powers doing the jump bump. And says we're headed to the playoffs. Hashtag now you know. And just some photos here. Powers, Howard, Mitchell. Scrolling up. Says, let them know we're heading to the playoffs. Or Lexi and Petty and Coach and Aaliyah Boston going strong up there on Kiki Iriafin. All right. This one says, making the playoffs with your friends. Love that. I love the culture they have created in the midst of adversity. Aerial Powers brought the energy today off the bench. Let's just take a look at these numbers. 15.6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. She keeps telling us, don't worry about it. God's got you. When it's your time, the door opens and you walk through it. Let's just take a look at a little bit of these highlights.
On that one, Angster backtapped it. It ends up with Aerial Powers inside Howard, off the window, the bucket, and the foul. Austin got that rebound. Here's Powers. Lost the handle, gets it back, gets right to the hoop, and she dropped it home.
Bringing the energy off the bench. This one says, walk off the court with Aaliyah Boston after she dropped the double-double in our playoff clinching W over Mystics. And Fantastic Five, these are double figures. I won't go over these all again. I just did with the box score, but we got Howard, Ariel, Shay, Aaliyah, and Kelsey in double digits. That's how we clinch, baby. The squad was lit after securing today's dub and our spot in the playoffs.
Playoff dub!
That's how we clinch, baby!
W. Playoff! Wow! Yeah! Playoffs, baby!
Let's hear this snippet from Aaliyah Boston. This is about the team's resilience.
Yeah, I think, just being someone in this locker room, you never doubt yourself and what you're capable of, no matter what happens. I think the entire staff up to the head just made great decisions when people went down on who to bring in, the type of people to bring in. And that was really our mindset. We never doubted ourselves. We never doubted that we could be in the playoffs. Even if things looked like it got harder, for us, it was about sticking together. And I think through everything, you're able to see that, us play with joy, us play together, regardless of who's on that floor.
That has to be the mindset of a team going through adversity. Has to be the mindset. And I think I'll show you a little bit of this. It says, now you know, despite all the adversity, this incredibly resilient Fever team is going back to the playoffs in 2025. With 5 players in double figures, we soared to a 29-point win over the Mystics and booked our spot in the playoffs. Like I said, just a little bit of this. And we will end with this, of course, playoff bound. We've officially clinched our spot in the 2025 WNBA playoffs. And what a picture. This picture right here speaks to what kind of season this is. As I expressed in my video last night, in which I showed some video snippets and some pictures, look at all these players. Players who were not even there in the beginning, players who ended up getting hurt during the season, but are every bit a part of this team. Players who just came in or came in a little while ago, all of it. This picture right here speaks volumes about adversity, but not just laying down in the midst of adversity, but continuing to fight. Clinched. Playoffs 2025. Let's go Fever. Congratulations to the Indiana Fever. You are playoff bound. I'll catch you next time, God willing. God bless you abundantly.